Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and these are 15 Japanese films from the 1990s that you should watch. Let's do it. Welcome back, Mr. McDonald, 1997. This is a comedy. A housewife writes the winning script in a radio drama contest, but must then defend it against the many changes that the voice actors and executives recommend during a live radio broadcast. This is a very funny, intelligent, charming movie with a fast pace as the characters run around frenetically, writing deus ex machinas and finding ways to create unforeseen sound effects on the spot. The broadcast that they come up with is so laughably contrived that this film could be considered a satire on the corporate industry of making art. The ending is also surprisingly exciting. This is a fantastic film by director Koki Mitani. Tokyo Fist, 1995. It's a drama. A desensitized businessman and his wife develop self-awareness and liberation through their pain and suffering via boxing and self-mutilation respectively. The comparison between physicality and enlightenment is also reflected in the contrasting environments of the pristine cityscape and the raw underground of the training facility. Cinematography nicely uses deep hues like blue, yellow, orange, etc. And kinetic camera work provides some intense moments. Viewer be warned that some of the boxing matches are bloody and violent, but they are required to communicate the underlying themes of the film. This is a highly entertaining and surreal film by Shinya Tsukamoto that has a lot of depth to it. Postman Blues, 1997. It's a comedy drama. A disgruntled postman meets some shady individuals on his route, which prompts the local police to get the misleading impression that he's some kind of dangerous murderer. The postman also has no idea that the cops are staking him out and gathering an incredible amount of overwhelming circumstantial evidence against him, despite the fact that he has actually done nothing wrong, which makes the premise even more ironic and entertaining. The postman's interaction with a variety of characters is really what drives the film, and there are some protagonist sequences to enjoy. Tons of bicycle scenes as well. It must be said that this director has got some serious balls for ending the movie the way he did. This film by Sabu is a lot of fun. Shall We Dance, 1996. It's a drama comedy. Koji Yakusho takes up ballroom dancing lessons while the lead instructor tries to recover from a devastating loss in competition. The mood is lighthearted from beginning to end, with some subtle touches of seriousness. All of the characters are likable, but Naoto Takanaka gives a memorable and hilarious supporting role as the Latin-crazed dancer. Storyline is satisfying and ends nicely. Very warm-hearted and delightfully whimsical movie from director Masayuki Suo. Moving, 1993. It's a drama. A 6th grade girl is affected by her parents' decision to separate, so she tries repeatedly to get them to reconcile. Now, first things first, the little girl actress, Tomoko Tabata, is outstanding in this. Not only does she give a fantastic performance, but she can run like the wind, do the moonwalk, shadow box, and even jump onto moving vehicles. This film is driven by realistic day-to-day interaction and punctuated with conflicts. The final half hour, which takes place at a fire festival, is pretty mind-blowing in how it blends dreamlike imagery with the themes that it has explored up to that point. This film by director Shinji Somai is a very unique, expertly crafted depiction of divorce from the viewpoint of a child. Fudoh, The New Generation, 1996, a crime drama action flick. A group of teenagers decide to take on the Yakuza in this violent film by Takashi Miike. The tone here is pretty unorthodox, mixes in some serious story with outrageous cult elements and some sleazy moments. So we start off with like a crazy bathroom hit, then comes a coffee scene, a striptease scene, an Uzi scene, and a soccer game at the training facility. And those descriptions do not do those scenes justice. They're outrageous. The opening 40 minutes are absolutely insane and a load of fun. And yes, the kids in this movie are really cool as well, but the schoolgirl assassins steal the show with their unconventional weaponry. The script does a very good job of providing some powerful adversaries, especially during the second half. Adds some dramatic weight to things. This is one of Takashi Miike's best films. Moonlight Whispers, 1999, a drama, romance, thriller hybrid. Two teenagers develop a sadomasochistic relationship. Now, this is a surprisingly engaging film as it explores the initial realization of the characters' desires and fetishes, despite the social pressures of normalcy. The manifestation of obsession, control, domination, and humiliation is almost always portrayed psychologically instead of physically. That said, there is an incredible amount of erotic tension here that drives the movie from beginning to end, despite the fact that sex is used very sparingly. The realistic development of the relationship, as well as the individual's self-awareness here, is impressive, and one can only gather the impression that such relationships in reality have culminated under similar circumstances. The casting of teenagers adds a thrilling aspect to a film that never descends into gratuitousness, yet maintains an aura of uncomfortability throughout. This is a neat film by Akihiko Shiota. Crest of Betrayal, 1994, a drama, horror, action hybrid. Now, this film by Kinji Fukasaku blends the legend of the 47 Ronin with the ghost story of Yotsuya. So yeah, this is a unique premise, and the film makes good on its potential. Period set designs and clothing are visually striking. The lengthy, authentic Japanese dances and songs are very cool. Performances range from natural to theatrical, but they are very impressive in both styles. There are some strange moments to enjoy as well, especially when the acting troupe is on screen. The finale is a crazy mix of action and horror. Watch it. Charisma, 1999. Kind of a weird drama. A detective must choose to protect or destroy a rare tree responsible for the degradation of the surrounding ecosystem. Now, director Kiyoshi Kurosawa contributes a screenplay with rich philosophical concepts, such as the individual versus society, false dichotomies, etc., and a thought-provoking ending. The imagery and atmosphere of the forest and autumn season is fantastic, and the score is strong, both contributing to some eerie moments. The film moves as slow as molasses in January, which could be a problem for some viewers, but the discussions involving individual trees and whole forests are a microcosm of the human world, and very interesting. Characters are a bit quirky, even humorous, and add to the already memorable scenarios. There's a ton of originality in this one. Kikujiro, 1999, comedy drama. Takeshi Kitano directs and stars as a man who takes a kid on a trip to see his mother. There are some funny moments that occur during their adventure, all being within the style of this director. Some great scoring and music by Joe Hisaishi is here as well. In fact, it's some of the best in Kitano's entire filmography. Moments are foreshadowed by Polaroid pictures throughout, which is kind of a nice touch. This is a solid road trip movie that is very amusing, in a low-key sort of way. It's one of Kitano's most purely entertaining and joyful films. Angel Dust, 1994. A lady detective tries to stop a serial killer who murders in public places with a poisonous syringe in this film, a thriller by Sogo Ishii. There are a number of plot lines that are explored here. There's the investigation aspect, the detective's unorthodox romantic relationships, mental brainwashing, etc. But the most amazing element is the combination of expert camera work, scoring, editing, and set designs that plunge the viewer into a hypnotic mental state, thereby creating a very unusual level of surrealistic discomfort. It has the feel of a David Lynch film at times, I think. Some of the events are enigmatic, which will likely provoke repeat viewings. Pacing is slow here, actually quite glacial, but those interested in weird, potent, mesmerizing cinema really need to watch this. My Secret Cash, 1997, is a comedy. After a money-crazed girl is kidnapped by bank robbers, she becomes obsessed with finding the missing cash which lies in a treacherous woodland area. This is a peculiar film about a quirky girl, and it feels very different from a typical genre pick as it focuses on the protagonist acquiring the proper skills, like learning geology, swimming, climbing, etc., to find the cash. The effective humor is based on everyday character interaction, and Naomi Nishida is charming in the lead role. A pretty light, breezy, and charming film from Shinobu Yaguchi. The Trap, 1996. This is a thriller. A detective, played by Masatoshi Nagase, crosses paths with a masked serial killer in this film by Kaizo Hayashi. This is one of those deliberately paced, atmospheric, creepy thrillers that Japan does quite well. There are some seriously strange characters here, which include the murderer, who uses a syringe to incapacitate his victims, and his family, which consists of a deranged factory worker and her mentally handicapped brother. Impressive direction, scoring, and lighting create an eerie mood here. The finale is particularly unique, surprising, and satisfying. This is the third entry in the Mike Yokohama franchise, and it's my personal favorite. Tokyo Rampage, 1998, crime drama. A young drifter hangs around with low-level underworld businessmen and begins killing Yakuza in this film by Toshiaki Toyoda. His philosophy is enigmatic as he simply refers to his victims as being useless, but his interactions with others is what makes this movie entertaining. There are a number of very cool scenes to enjoy. The opening shot is really cool, there are some skateboarding moments, some absurd stabbings and deaths, hallucinations, etc., some of which are quite unique. A very cool flick from a reliable and underrated director. April Story, 1998, a drama. In spring, a girl leaves the island of Hokkaido to attend university in Tokyo. Once there, she is asked to reveal why she wanted to go there in the first place. This film is essentially about a girl who is coping with the insecurity of her first semester in college. The structure of this movie is unorthodox because it simply follows the main character as she grows accustomed to her new environment. Luckily, the lead actress has more than enough charisma to carry the viewer's interest, and the music is first class. At only 67 minutes, this flies by quickly, and it represents one of the more purely watchable films from director Shunji Iwai. So there you have it, 15 Japanese films from the 1990s that you should watch. I am not providing availability information in this playlist, so check Google for any films that may seem interesting to you. The 1990s were a pretty strong decade for Japanese film that marked the beginning, in my opinion, of a new gold age that would last up to the present day. In fact, there were so many impressive films from this decade that I'm going to make a part 2 to this video and give you 15 more Japanese film recommendations from the 1990s. So look out for that list in the near future. And check out some of the prior videos in this playlist. I went through each decade, going all the way back to the 1920s. And as always, we'll see you next time.